What's up guys, Rand Razor here with another tech video for guys today, and today I bring you guys my long overdue video of OtterBox's entire lineup of cases for the all new iPhone 12, 12 Pro, and 12 Pro Max. So without further ado, let's slice these cases open, slap it on the iPhone, and check them out. Alright, so let's dive into this, starting off with OtterBox's two newest series of cases for this year. The first one is their Aneu series case. So this is a new one for this year. It's also available as an Apple Store exclusive as well at Apple stores and their online store. You can see here this case is MagSafe compatible, which is pretty nice. Now the Aneu series case is pretty similar to the Symmetry Case, which we will check out very shortly. They're both hybrid style cases, rubber sides fused to a polycarbonate back shell. Main difference really, other than the looks, is the fact that the sides are completely rubber versus the Symmetry Case, which half of it is plastic and half of it is rubber. The advantage of this design is that it makes it easier to take your phone in and out of. So here's my iPhone 12 Pro Max. We'll slap it into the Aneu series case. Alright, so this is what the Aneu series case looks like on the iPhone 12 Pro Max. This color obviously may not appeal to you, but they do have a few other color combos that you can choose from. This one here is just like a light beige in combination with this teal green color. One little feature I like about the Aneu series case over the Symmetry case is OtterBox introduced new style button covers. Now these covers, which are normally like part of the rubber, these are actually separate pieces. They're plastic, not rubber. And because they're separate, they feel like actual buttons when you press on them. They actuate very easily. They don't require a whole lot of pressure. I know it's a small little thing to mention, but when you're constantly using the volume button covers or power button all the time with your phone, it's a very easy button to press. Aside from that, everything else is pretty much what you expect with this case. Cut out for the triple lens camera. The top of the case here lips just above the display, so you have a good amount of top protection. Also compatible with my tempered glass screen protector from Brando. Full access to your microphone, speakerphone, and your lightning ports. But yeah, aside from that, this is the OtterBox Aneu series case. Almost forgot to show you guys, it is MagSafe compatible. So you can see here we have Apple's MagSafe charger. Goes on like this, magnetically locks, and charges your phone. Alright, next up we have another new series of cases that OtterBox introduced this year called the Figura Case. And it's also made for MagSafe. It slides out like so. And the first and only thing that we get, of course, is the Figura Case. The Figura Case is a TPU style case, and the thermoplastic is nice because it gives it a really flexible design, making it relatively easy to take your phone in and out, but also a slim fitting design as well. This is probably one of OtterBox's thinnest cases available for the new iPhones. Aside from the all thermoplastic design, the only different material that's on here are the button covers, and just like the previous case I showed you guys, they're separate plastic button covers so that they feel like actual buttons when you press on them. At least we'll find out very soon. So we'll grab my iPhone 12 Pro Max, we'll go button side first, and it just pops into place. That was probably the easiest installation out of all the OtterBox cases I reviewed so far. So here's what the case looks like on the iPhone 12 Pro Max, and of course if you don't like this gradient teal color, you can also pick a few other options as well. Like I mentioned, definitely one of OtterBox's thinner cases compared to everything else, thinner than the Symmetry and that other one I reviewed. That being said, it does give it a slim fitting design, which is something I do like about this case. However, because it's slimmer, it's probably not as drop protective as the other ones in this lineup. Quick overview, you can see the top does surround the entire border of the phone, bit of top protection as well. It is compatible with a tempered glass screen protector, covers for your power button, volume rockers on the side. They work relatively well, light to press. On the bottom you have 3 individual cutouts for your stereo speakers, mic, and lightning port, and lastly on the back here, precision cutout for your triple lens camera module, and the entire back is of course this matte finish teal design. The finish itself, I forgot to mention, is it's very soft to the touch. I would imagine it resists fingerprints pretty well because it's a matte finish. But yeah, it's I prefer this over a glossy finish any day. And here's a quick look at the MagSafe feature, which again is built in this case. Magnetically sticks, so no issues there. And that is the OtterBox Figura Case. Next up we have the OtterBox Symmetry Case, which is one of OtterBox's most popular lineup of cases, largely due to the slimmer form factor that this model offers. So here's a closer look at the original Symmetry Case here. You can see we got the OtterBox logo engraved on the bottom, complete matte finish. It's a hybrid style case just like the last year's model with the rubberized sides and top. and a polycarbonate back shell that's fused together. Now, not all the Symmetry cases feature the MagSafe option, so you have to make sure that if you do want that, ensure that it is marked on the box. And probably go button side first. And I did review this case about a couple months ago, and one thing I learned is that this is still one of the most difficult cases to pop on the iPhones. Last year's model wasn't too bad, but this year I'm not sure if it's because of the flat edge, but it's a very, very difficult case to put on. Requires quite a bit of force to snap it into place, which is actually quite annoying, but it is doable. And I think we're in. Alright, so here's what the case looks like once it's on the... Oops, what did I tap? Alright, let's try that again. So this is what the case looks like on the iPhone 12 Pro Max. You can see here, black for black, looks pretty nice. Quick overview, you got rubber protection that surrounds the entire top here. My Brando tempered glass screen protector works with this case without any issues. Covers for the power button, as well as your volume rockers, and they actually press really, really easily. No issues there. And a little cutout for the vibrate and ringer switch. Now, I noticed OtterBox also threw on the new button cover style on their Symmetry case as well. It's hard to tell because it's black, but on at least on the original Symmetry case here, the button covers are separate plastic pieces. Same thing with the volume rockers on the other side here. So that's probably why they press and work really well, because they feel like actual buttons, just like the Figura Case and the other one I just showed you guys earlier in this video. So yeah, same new button design has been carried over to the Symmetry lineup. On the bottom here, you also have full access to your stereo speakers, mic, and lightning port. Lastly, on the back side here, you got the OtterBox logo engraved on the bottom, matte black finish, and a large cutout for the triple lens camera module. You can kind of see why the Symmetry case is still one of OtterBox's most popular cases, and that is because it is a very, very thin profile. It doesn't add a whole lot of bulk to the iPhone. Does add a bit of bulk width-wise. It feels a little bit wider, not a whole lot and not as bad as the Defender case. But yeah, the most important part, of course, are the borders, which is why they still remain thick to protect it from draughts. But from the sides, you can see here, it's a very slim profile case. Here's a quick look at what the other cases look like on the iPhone. This is the Symmetry Pop series in clear, but also available in solid color options as well. It's a great case for those who are looking for the pop feature, which I thought was a gimmick at first, but it really makes a bit of a difference when you're holding your phone. It just makes it that much more secure and comfortable when you're holding your phone. It doesn't feel like it's going to slip out of your hand. So that's one of the reasons why a lot of people like these pop series. You can also change the pop button to a different style if you get tired of the one that you already have. Next up, we have the clear model. Great case for those of you who want to show off the look and color of your iPhone. And it's actually the easiest one to take your phone in and out of compared to the solid color ones for whatever reason. But that is that one. And the last one here is your graphic series. This one here is in like a different textured blacks and grays and a bit of splash of gold. But of course, if you're not a fan of this one, there's a few other options as well. But anyways, that is the OtterBox Symmetry case. A great case for those of you who are looking for a slim profile case while still backed by OtterBox's well-known draw protection and customer support. And I do want to show you guys what this case looks like when you take your phone out of it, which I think, I'm not sure if it was easier or harder than putting it back in. Oh yeah, I think this might be actually a little bit harder. Oh no, there we go. Yeah, definitely easier to take it out. But yeah, that's my only gripe with the Symmetry case, is the fact that it's a very difficult case to pop in. Not too bad taking it out now that I'm doing it right now, but when you put it in, I don't know why, it just requires a ton of force to pop this case in, and I think that's largely because of this shiny siding that Apple uses, because the rubber really likes to stick to it. And I nearly forgot about the MagSafe, so here it is, MagSafe, which you can see here, sticks into place. Alright, next up we have the ever famous Defender lineup from OtterBox, which has been around since the iPhone 3G, well over 10 years ago now, which is quite amazing. But anyways, the Defender case has probably received the biggest change out of this entire lineup. Very minor change, but the biggest one in my opinion. You can see here, still a traditional hybrid style case, outer rubber shell and an inner polycarbonate shell, and we still get the included belt holster for those of you who still want to use this, but also acts as a nice stand. I think I'm using this right. There we go. So the Defender case is still the most finicky case out of a lot of the iPhone cases I've reviewed, just because it requires a bit of effort to take it on and off. The plastic inner piece here There's a whole bunch of clips that hold it together, so I recommend using a thin microfiber cloth so that you don't break your nails and just pop each individual clip off. So there's, I believe, like 3 on each side, and once you got 3 of them off, it pretty much comes off on its own. And you can also see on the back side here, whoops, we also have this large foam pad to help cushion the back of the iPhone. Alright, I'm going to show you guys what the Realtree camo model looks like first. This is a little bit different. The plastic is now black instead of orange like it was last year, but just goes on like the other Defender cases. The hardest part's probably just massaging all the little nooks and crannies into place, but once you got it in, you're pretty much set to go. So the Defender case for this year has largely remained unchanged. It's still your traditional thick, bulky rubber plastic case that we've seen for the last number of years, but they actually made a minor change this year, and that is the case got thinner. So protection-wise, the case didn't lose protection. The sides of the iPhone are still thick. Like, I can still feel it's a really wide phone with this case on. But what the OtterBox did was actually made the top part here a lot more flush with the display of the iPhone, so it looks and feels thinner. Now, even though the sides are more flush with the display, it doesn't lose any protection than it did last year. Assuming you rock a tempered glass screen protector like I do on my phone right now, which, yes, this is compatible with a glass screen protector. The one I'm using here is from a company called Brando. But with that glass screen protector, you pretty much, in a sense, have 360-degree protection. I also have a glass protector on top of my camera lens module here too, and again, the case is compatible. Anyways, back to the design change. Because the borders are a lot more flush with the display now, which again you can kind of see on an angle, it's a lot more of a thinner case, to the point where I have to say that the Defender case is now a practical case to use for even the average consumer. But yeah, the Defender case is definitely my favorite change of the entire OtterBox lineup, to the point where I like how this case is a much more practical case for anybody to use. Aside from that, everything else is pretty much the same. You still have a protective flap for the vibrate and ringer switch, covers for the volume rockers, as well as the power button, and you still get a nice tactile feedback when you press on them. Full access to your speakerphone, microphone, and a little protective flap for the lightning ports. And lastly, on the back here, I have this cool Realtree design, and of course an open cutout for the camera module. Anyways, that is the Realtree Edition Defender case, and here's a quick look at what the blue Defender case looks like on the blue iPhone. This is a great choice for those of you with a blue iPhone and kind of wanting to keep the same blue theme going on, even though you're kind of covering up your blue iPhone with a case. But yeah, it's a pretty good choice for those of you with the blue iPhone. I think the color matches pretty nicely with the blue camera module, so if you want to keep things consistent and same color theme as your phone, this is certainly a great choice. Again, identical to the Realtree model that I just showed you guys. The only difference is that it's just a traditional solid colored case versus that camel printing on the back. But anyways, that is the Defender case for the all-new iPhone 12 Pro Max. The last case that we have here is the OtterBox Commuter case, a great choice for those of you who want something in between the Symmetry case and the Defender case. So OtterBox did do a full redesign for the Commuter case last year, so not too surprisingly, it pretty much has remained unchanged for this year. Here's a quick comparison with last year's model on the left, and you can see pretty much identical in design, some minor differences. The biggest one I'd say is probably the OtterBox logo has changed from the traditional looking one to the more modern style, I guess. But aside from that, pretty much the same design theme. They do come in a few different colors. This one here is an all black model, and we also have this really nice turquoise or light turquoise model. My favorite thing about the Commuter case is just the design concept. I like how your entire iPhone is wrapped in this protective soft rubber material, which goes on relatively easily. And for additional protection and holding this rubber piece onto your iPhone is of course this plastic piece, and I usually go bottom side first since that's where the flap is, and then kind of push it upwards and just massage everything into place. Normally I'm always a fan of the black cases for my space gray iPhones, but this light turquoise color actually doesn't look too bad. Anyways, quick overview. The rubber does wrap around the entire border of the phone and lifts just above the glass display. I do have a Brando tempered glass screen protector on here, which this case is fully compatible with, no bubbling or anything like that. All your buttons are covered up with the rubber material. They're a little bit squishy, but you still get a nice tactile feedback when you press on them. Nice little cutout for the vibrate and ringer switch. And one thing I like about the Commuter case is that it still retains that protective flap for the lightning port, so it keeps all the dust and debris from getting in there. On the back side, there's two little cutouts for the rubber grooves to actually come out the back, so you have a little bit of extra grip. The OtterBox logo engraved on the bottom. The entire back has a nice matte finish to it, so it resists scratches pretty well, and a generous cutout for the triple lens camera module. Overall, very nice fitting case, protective, not as bulky as the Defender case, but more than enough for the average drop. You can see there's actually a little hole here, which apparently this piece goes into there. I'm not a big fan of this cutout because that means this hard plastic is rubbing against the back of your iPhone. So I did put a piece of 3M tape on the back of the iPhone so that this doesn't scratch it by any means, which I think right here is the Apple logo. So that's my only complaint with this weird design cutout, that they cut this out for whatever reason. So here's what the black model looks like on the space gray iPhone. I have to say black is still my go-to color for my space gray iPhones. Can't get enough of it, but yeah, that's what it looks like. Again, same thing as the turquoise except in black. Overall, the Commuter case for the third year in a row has been my favorite one of the entire OtterBox series lineup. I just love the design concept of it. It's been out since I think the iPhone 4. And there's a reason why people like it. It's a great protective case and a great alternative to the Defender case for those of you who don't want anything as protective or as bulky, but still a step up from the Symmetry lineup for that little bit of added extra material for draw protection. For me, I really like the design concept of how your phone is wrapped in rubber and then plastic goes on. That way your phone is cushioned with that soft rubber, and also it acts as kind of like a gasket so that any dust and debris that gets around your phone doesn't get in between your case and your phone as easily, versus with plastic was on first and then rubber like the Defender case. So that's what I like about the Commuter case, is that the rubber helps not just protect your phone from drops, but also helps seal dust and debris and stuff from getting in between the case and your phone. Also forgot to mention, the Commuter case isn't MagSafe compatible, unlike the Symmetry case, which does have that option. This one does not. However, you can still use the wireless charging function of the iPhone. So I do have a wireless charging pad right here. You place it on top and it does start charging. So wireless charging is compatible with this case, but no MagSafe. And that is the OtterBox Commuter case. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Any questions or comments about these cases, or if you have a favorite, or if you're rocking one of these, let me know in the comment section there down below. Hit that like button, as always helps me out, and I'll see you all in the next video.